Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't tell yourself you can't do something. There's zero benefit of telling yourself you can't do something. I could never do that. I could never do what you do. I don't know if I could do that. You literally saying that tells me that you'll never do it. It's not because you're not capable. It's because you don't believe. Michael Jordan did not achieve what he achieved on his own. He had guidance support around him. He had mentors. He had coaches. He had great teammates. All those things connected made him into the player he became, right? So it wasn't just him alone. He needed help. He needed guidance. What is good? What is happening? Welcome to episode 2 of my first ever podcast. What is next? Actually, what's next with Dominic Spear? I decided to go with that name because I like it, and I could add just with Dominic Spear at the end, and yeah, it seemed to be not taken because I'm clearly the only Dominic Spear with what's next and my name. So that's the name I went with, and the reason for that, I'm not going to touch on that too long, but pretty much the reason for that is just because there's always like what's next. There's never a mountaintop. It doesn't matter how much you achieve in life, it's always what's next. You are never satisfied. And for me, I'm always like, what's next? I achieve a goal, what's next, right? Sometimes I think maybe I move too quickly. I don't appreciate really what I just achieved. However, that's the way I'm wired at this point, and I'm always like, what's next? So, and I mean, there's so much other things to it, like, okay, what is the next project we're working on? What is next in life? What is next? What is next in general? And that's why I love the name. So in this episode, I want to talk about the 7 lessons I learned from competing in my first ever bodybuilding competition. A lot of y'all might not know this. If you're pretty active on Instagram, you have seen me prepare for it. You've seen me compete. You've seen pictures of it. So today I want to talk about the lessons I learned from that. It was actually quite a while back already, just over a month ago when I competed. It was on the 28th of October. And to be honest, I hardly even had the chance to really go through the pictures and reflect. However, there are 7 lessons that stood out to me. And these are sort of life lessons, some of them, a lot of mindset things, and a lot of other more detailed things on nutrition or training. So let's get into it. Lesson number 1. You do not need to do cardio to get shredded. This was a belief I had or used to have when sort of starting out. Like, there's sort of that correlation of like, in order to lose fat or get shredded, you need to do cardio. As much as it does help, it is not required. The only thing that really matters is calories in v calories out. At this point in my life, with my business growing, so much to do on that end, creating more content, growing the team, providing even more value to my clients, I just don't have the time to spend 2 hours a day doing cardio, even 1 hour a day. So why would I do that, right? I just don't have the time. Now, if you know that the only thing that matters is calories in v calories out, that means you can just eat a little bit less instead of spending all that time doing cardio. And if you're anything like me, if you're extremely busy, then I would recommend that you do the same thing. You don't need to do cardio. It is not required for you to do cardio to lose weight or get shredded. Like I said, it can help, but if you just focus on your diet, like if there's anything I would tell my younger self is like, bro, fucking focus on your diet. Diet is key. And when people say that diet is 70 to 80% of the game, I still think that is an understatement. So all you need to focus on is calories in v calories out. That means that you actually do need to track your calories. I mean, competing for a bodybuilding competition, that was kind of key. I really needed to be in control, right? And if you're in control, you can also eat the things you want to. Like for the bodybuilding competition, it was a little bit different. Like I had to sort of, especially like peak week, there was a time where I literally ate chicken and what was it, asparagus the whole day for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the meals in between as well. It was kind of, I mean, I got used to it. And I will say that with that diet, like it was easy. I won't go into that now, but it was really, really easy because of just eating so much protein, and protein is so satiating. So back to, you do not need to do cardio. And I was eating around 1,600 calories. And anyway, like for me personally, when I do cardio, I feel like I can eat a cow after I do cardio. And then I have way more cravings, and most of the time I end up overeating because my body's like wants to replenish all the energy stores it just lost, and it makes sense. And I tend to overeat when I do cardio. So it saves me time, and I don't overeat. My appetite is lower. And like I said, it's a win-win situation because I save time at the same time. So, because again, there's a common misconception that you feel like, or that I feel like is out there, that you need to do cardio in order to get shredded. It is just not true. So again, you can do it, and it definitely does help, right? It burns calories. However, it is not required. And that is lesson number 1. Now, moving on to lesson number 2. You need to believe in order to achieve. Your beliefs determine your actions, and your actions determine the outcome of your life. Yes, you need to believe in order to achieve. If you do not believe that you can actually follow through and do it, you will not, right? And I actually got this from the book Atomic Habits, a must read, insane book. And it sort of taught me that your beliefs determine your actions, right? If you think about it, like what you believe about yourself, right, determines what you end up doing. If you don't believe, for example, let's say in dating, if you don't believe you can ask that girl out, you won't do it, right? Because you don't believe. But if you believe that you are worthy of her, you will go do it, right? So your beliefs determine your actions, and your actions determine the outcome of your life. And that is crazy because all you need to do is reverse engineer. Because if you know that your beliefs determine your actions, and your actions determine the outcome of your life, that means if you can influence and control and determine your beliefs, or work on that, everything else will fall into place. And that is actually such a liberating thing to know. It puts you in control, and control feels good. So again, if you do not believe you can do something, you will not achieve it. And I feel like a lot of the times people just unnecessarily limit themselves. Like, they're like, I could never do that. I could never do what you do. I don't know if I could do that. You literally saying that tells me that you'll never do it. Not because you're not capable. And that is really one thing I want to emphasize. It's not because you're not capable. It's because you don't believe. Right? Did I believe that I could do this? Like, looking back 2 years ago, 3 years ago, did I believe that I could ever do this? No. Once I started believing, however, that's when my actions started to follow. And as a result, I actually managed to compete in a bodybuilding competition. So again, you need to believe in order to achieve. And your beliefs determine your actions, and your actions determine the outcome of your life. Now, moving on to lesson number 3. This is great, guys. I'm enjoying this. I like talking to the camera. It's like my bro. So, having said that, lesson number 3. Having a goal, something to aim towards, makes it so much easier to actually follow through. It's crazy what a little bit of desire and focus can do. So I actually noticed that because I'm at the point right now where I'm sort of in maintenance mode, right? As much as that's very enjoyable because it's not very restrictive. You can go over your calories one day, you can drop your calories the other day. You can sort of eat what you want as long as you're sort of hitting your maintenance calories overall on a weekly basis. However, what I did notice is that I didn't have that same desire, that same focus, at least when it came to sort of gymming, etc., which is fine. Right now, I'm sort of prioritizing the business side of things, the content side of things, right? But it's still like, It's crazy. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, if you want to get into shape,